What killed your feelings for someone you were once madly in love with?
Okay, it was 2016. I was 34. I had been married to my husband for 7 years. I worked at UNO, the University of New Orleans, and we only had one vehicle at the time. Well, we had two, but his daddy was using the other one. So he was bringing me to work early in the morning. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning. It was dark outside. So we pull up, and he picks a fucking fight with me. Now here I am, full fucking face of makeup, hair done, blazer, skirt suit, looking cute, about to go in here and go to work, have my little team meeting or whatever. And he picks a fight, which he did that a lot. When he was fucking up, or he was in the wrong, or he was cheating, or he just wanted to fucking make me feel bad, he would pick a fight. And I had got to the point where I was fucking over it. I was like, dude, why are you doing this? I gotta go in here and go to work. I was like, you know what? I'm not about to sit up here and be all crying and upset, dropping tears on my shirt. I'm about to go in here. I'm not gonna let you bother me. So I unbuckled the seatbelt in the truck. We had a Tahoe, and I leaned up to grab my purse out the floorboard. This motherfucker kicked me in my face. He had Nike boots on, them thick ass sole Nike boots. I bought him the boots. And at that moment, it don't matter how many times he had put his hands on me in the past, because we fought. Now, I ain't no punk ass bitch. I will fight you back. He put his hands on me. I put my hands on his ass back. I stabbed him with a fucking stiletto heel, a Louboutin in the fucking head one time. I done stabbed him with tweezers when he put his hands on me. Like, I pour hot ass water on him. Like, but he caught me off guard. Like, he kicked me in my face unprovoked for no fucking reason. Because I said I wasn't gonna fuss with him no more. And it was a fucking turning point. And I said, this motherfucker don't give a fuck about me. And I got up and I went in that motherfucking place. And I was so upset and distraught. Even my manager came in there. And my manager's an older white man from the Midwest. He did not like me. But he saw I was so upset. He came to see what was going on. I was the only black woman that worked on a team of white managers, and I was a diversity hire. And he saw that I was upset, and he was like, is everything okay? I'm like, no, we was in a slight accident on the way over here, because I had to sit up there and lie. That day was a turning point, because it was only a few months after that I had made up my fucking mind, and I said, I'm leaving him. And that was the first time I left and went and got my own apartment and got my own shit. Yeah, that was the turning point. I said, he kicked me in my face. Like, you always coming for my face. Why do you want to fuck my face up? You like my face. That's why you got with me, right? Like, this man hated me. And I was oblivious to it until that day when he kicked me in my face. Unprovoked. To this day, I'm the reason his life is bad. I ruined his life. I left him. I ruined his reputation. Bitch, I just told people what you did to me.
He wanted to fuck his cousin.
I remember the answer to this with my first relationship, the really, really long one. We were together for almost 7 years, and he was a part of my life for like years before we even started dating. So, yeah, he was like a very, very strong influence in my life. And we had broken up. This was at the end of 2019. We were broken up, I think, for about a month and a half at this point. I considered him my best friend, obviously. That's just kind of also how I go into relationships. I want my partner to be a friend. I think that type of dynamic is very important, at least for me personally. And I was having a really bad day. Him and I were still in contact every single day. We definitely didn't break up and just like go separate directions right away. We were being a little bit toxic. But anyways, I was having a really bad day, and there was my house, the basement flooded. And I called him, bawling my eyes out, asking him if he could come to help the situation, because it was just horrible. And he said, we're not together, and I don't owe you anything. And that was the day my whole mentality of how I look at relationships changed. I was madly, madly in love with him before this, and that sentence to me was the sentence that changed everything. Because I realized that I don't want to be in a relationship with anyone, even if it's a friendship or romantic relationship, if I mean that little to them, unless I'm giving them something or something they want in return. I want the people in my life, regardless of what I can offer them at that time. I want the people in my life to be there for me no matter what, because that's how I show up for other people too. And I think that that's also the difference between an immature love and a mature love. It's, there's always good times, and how you feel about somebody and how someone treats you during the good times, that doesn't matter. Or it does matter, but it doesn't matter to me as much, I should say. Now I'm at the point where I'm going to take into consideration how somebody treats me during the tough times, during the conflict, during times that life isn't going well, because guess what? That is 50% of life, at least. You don't need your own biggest enemy to be the person that should be your support system in hard times. And that, to me, that realization changed everything.
So I'm a lesbian, but I didn't realize that until a little bit later in life. And so up until that point, I only dated men. There was one man in particular that I was really very serious with. We both kind of thought we were going to get married. And we would frequently have these huge, very explosive arguments. Like if anybody was friends with us, they would have experienced at least one of our fights. We were that couple that would fight in public. We'd fight in front of our friends. Like we did not care if there was something to be said, we were going to say it at that moment. So one night we came home, we were alone, and we were having one of these really explosive arguments. For the life of me, I could not remember what the fight was about. I end up locking myself in the bathroom because I was feeling really overstimulated, really overwhelmed. Now, to set the scene for you, this bathroom has one door in and out. It has no windows. It's really small. I'm talking maybe like 5 by 5 square feet. Before I continue this part of the story, please remember I was also super toxic in this relationship, so don't feel too bad for me. We would fight all the time. We would say really mean things to each other. Anything we could do to get a reaction, that was the type of partnership that we had. So anyway, I locked myself in the bathroom, and he gets very inflamed by this because he had a very anxious attachment style, and so he was frustrated by the fact that he couldn't see me. So he starts like trying to open the door, but of course the bathroom door is locked. Now this guy is big. He's like 6'5", 6'6". I'm a pretty tall person, but I'm not that tall. And so he's trying to open the door, but the thing is, in that process, somehow he breaks the door, and like he breaks the actual locking mechanism off of the door. At this point, I'm absolutely panicking. I'm holding the door against him. I'm screaming, I'm crying, and immediately I call one of my friends. I don't want to call 911 because I feel like that's dramatic. I call one of my friends, I'm crying, and now he hears I'm on the other line with somebody else, and he's like, who the fuck are you on the phone with? At this point, he kind of has like this moment of sobriety where he realizes what he's done, and he's like, I'll leave, just hang up the phone. So he leaves the apartment, just absolutely shoots out of there. My friend is still on the phone. She's like, hey, I'm still gonna come get you tonight. Like, I don't care, you shouldn't stay there. And I was like, hey, no, just like leave me here. I just need a second to decompress and like process what just happened. I'm fine. I'm sorry for calling you. I'm sorry for bothering you. Because at this point, I was still trying to keep it under wraps to the people in my life, just how fucking chaotic this had gotten between us. It's embarrassing to have a relationship be that far out of control. Anyway, so I had had a couple drinks that night, so I ended up, this is embarrassing, but I ended up just sleeping on the bathroom floor. Like, I just re-locked the door, slept on the bathroom floor. The next morning, I wake up and I leave the bathroom. At this point, I realize what's happened to the door because I didn't totally have cognizance of it at the time, but I realized that the lock is actually broken, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't realize it was that bad last. But here's the thing. I come out to the living room, and not only is my front door unlocked, but it is wide fucking open. He left it open all night long, knowing I was a woman living in that apartment, otherwise alone. It was the biggest gesture of disrespect. It was almost like he literally did not care. Like somebody could have come into that apartment and done whatever they wanted to me, taken whatever they wanted of my things, of me, and he didn't care. I always say, but the reason I come on here and I tell you guys these stories, especially like as a lesbian who dated men, you might be like, oh my God, why would you tolerate that treatment from somebody that you weren't even attracted to? We go super far to follow our social scripts. Leaving is hard. It's not linear. You don't always get it on the first try, and it doesn't always look the same.
I think the first one was this scar. Second was this one. Oh, and I think I really started to hit him when my eyeball fell out. Oh, that's right. I really hated him when I fought for my life for 1 week in ICU. When I had 2 babies at home. Yeah, that's when I really, really hated him. But that's okay. Because I'm stronger. And scars are sexy. And I've got the love of my life now, who loves, protects, and respects me. So there is a rainbow at the end of all of it.